Whoa, that's a big snake. Oh my goodness.
We're just gonna take our time. So far, so good.
Don't want to get bit by this snake, that's for sure. Oh boy.
Over the years, Costa Rica has been one of our favorite countries in the tropics to visit. The diversity of animal species that can be encountered in just a few hundred square meters of rainforest, especially at night, is incredible to witness. We have come across some of Costa Rica's most charismatic species, while others have been quite camera shy. Some species we set out to find and spend countless hours searching for.
There he is. Look at that little guy.
While others, to our great surprise, spontaneously appeared right before our very eyes.
I was expecting creepy crawlies, not something as cute. Oh, as an ocelot. You?
There is one species, however, that has always managed to elude us on every one of our expeditions to Central America. On one of our most recent trips, we even dedicated an entire night searching for this reptile in a specific area that had reports of recent sightings. But the terrain thoroughly exhausted us, and our efforts proved to be fruitless.
The ground is super muddy. You can see the mud all over my boots. It's basically like ice skating up and down mountainsides. It's super tiring. It takes about a step and a half for every regular step you'd have on flat ground. So yeah, it's tough work.
The following morning, however, we received an unexpected call. Our target species was found on a private property a few hours away. The landowner wanted to relocate it for fear it would bite one of his workers. Without hesitation, we set off to encounter a snake the locals call Mataboy, the ox killer, or commonly known as the Bushmaster. Our goal would be to assist in the relocation process, but also assess the health of this snake before release at a wildlife reserve. The potentially lethal reputation of this snake required my full attention. The following scenes are a bit of a blur to me. This was my first time handling a Bushmaster, and addressing the camera in the moment was not my first priority. But the crew still grabbed the cameras to document this unexpected experience. We used a standard snake bag to transport the snake safely to the preserve, and from there, cautiously coaxed the snake out. Snakes will often feel secure in a dark, confined location, like a snake bag, and may not exit immediately.
Oh boy.
Using my snake handling tools to avoid a bite through the bag, I was able to open the bag and reveal the snake.
Whoa.
There's the Bushmaster.
Yep, that's a big snake. Oh my goodness.
All right, so far so good. Overall, the animal looks fairly healthy.
The first thing I noticed was this creature's eyes. They may look frightening, but it is simply an indication that this snake had entered a shed cycle. As a snake prepares to shed its old outer layer of scales, lubricant will accumulate underneath to help slough off the scales easier. The resulting blue color of the eye is actually this fluid building up underneath the protective eye caps that covers a snake's lidless eyes.
Is that good or bad for us?
Well, sometimes they get a little cranky when they're gonna shed. The way I like to think about it is when snakes are in shed, as we refer to it, they're kind of having a bad hair day. But as of right now, this animal is behaving very well. And I want to do as little handling as possible, especially if it's just kind of motionless like this.
Okay.
As long as you react slow, gentle with your movements, the snake should be fine. The snake is gonna react when we react.
Secondly, I could tell there was a minor scrape on the snake's snout and mouth region, but this should heal just fine as the snake goes through its shed cycle and a new layer of skin is formed. One of the most distinguishing features of this snake genus, Lachesis, is the heavily keeled, pyramid-like scales that run along the length of the body and form a dorsal ridge, giving the snake a rough and textured look.
By the length of the tail, I think this is a female.
Really?
Yep. Females
Okay.
have a kind of shorter, stockier tail. Most pit vipers give birth to live young. Bushmasters actually lay eggs, a very unique feature for a pit viper. What's really cool about Bushmasters as well is that males tend to get larger than females. In general, in the snake world, it's usually opposite.
Bushmasters are considered the largest pit viper in the world, and this species has the potential to reach 12 feet in length. This Bushmaster was about 7 feet, a good average size for a snake in this region, indicating it is likely a mature individual. Although the venom of the Bushmaster is not considered the most toxic in the region, the massive quantity of venom that a large snake could inject would be lethal. The venom is composed of hemotoxic properties which can cause severe necrosis of muscle tissues and affect blood clotting factors. Several fatalities have occurred from Bushmaster bites even after the administration of antivenom, which means I have no room for error while working with this snake.
Oh my goodness, Mario, I just got that shot. What just happened?
It actually kind of yawned and fixed one of its fangs. It's not uncommon for snakes like that to do that.
That fang was huge.
Wow.
I was wondering if we were gonna get to see those fangs.
That is a sight that you rarely will ever see, the fangs of a Bushmaster. That was pretty cool.
Wow, I'm speechless.
At a few points during the assessment process, the snake actually opened its mouth in a yawn-like fashion, exposing its long hinged fangs. This might look menacing or even threatening, but it was simply the snake realigning its fangs, which are kept folded against the upper jaw when the mouth is closed. It was definitely a unique opportunity, witnessing the fangs of the snake without being in the bite zone.
I'm sorry, but I want to capture that. That is pretty cool.
A behavior like this is something we could have never predicted to see, but my experience has taught me to always be prepared for the unexpected. This was by far one of the most intimidating snakes I have worked with, not necessarily because of her temperament or behavior, but simply because of her size and my knowledge of the associated risks of receiving a bite.
Well, you know, obviously both Mario and I are super excited and humbled by the fact we're getting to witness this snake. It would have been cool to find our own Bushmaster, but I feel super proud to be part of this relocation process, the part of this opportunity for the snake to avoid a potential bad situation and be relocated to a place that it can live out the rest of its life on protected land. I think that speaks to the core of what Brave Wilderness stands for and the conservation efforts that we support.
Absolutely. You know, this is a female. This is a mature female that in a population is very important, right? She's going to give birth to the next generation of Bushmasters. So any Bushmaster that can be saved is fantastic for the population.
And how cool. Last night in Costa Rica, and we finally get a Bushmaster up close for the cameras. Quick little fist bump. I'm Mark Vins.
I'm Mario Dacoa.
Be brave.
Stay wild.
We'll see ya on the next adventure. Let's see if she'll do that again.
After this quick health assessment, the snake was released deep within the protected reserve, far away from any human habitation. And even though this was not exactly the encounter I had been hoping for, it was still an amazing opportunity to work with the species. However, this infamous reptile still eludes us in the wild. The secretive nature of this animal and its preferred habitat of undisturbed dense lowland rainforests, along with decreasing population densities throughout its range, make it extremely difficult to find. But our search is far from over. If you thought this encounter with the ultimate pit viper was dangerous, go back and watch the time we handled another deadly species, the fer-de-lance. And don't forget, subscribe and click the notification bell so you can join me and the crew on our next adventure.
The fer-de-lance is one of the most dangerous snakes here in the tropics.
Cool. You just bit the snake
He
stick.
just bit the snake hook. Did
Yeah.
you see that?
Yeah, I did. What does that mean, Mario?
Well, that means the snake's a little upset.